Jai to everyone. Today we will start data security and storage. In the previous lecture, we completed the application level security. And today I will cover here data security. You are applying the security at network level, means you are securing the network. You are applying the security at the host level, as we previously studied, and we are applying the uh, security on application level. After that, the things which comes is the data. If you are applying security on these three platforms which I discussed, like application, network, and application network and host level, and if you forget to secure the data, in that case, if there is a breach and your data is open, then anyone can read the data. For taking an example, WhatsApp. You seen the WhatsApp previous version. WhatsApp get installed on your phone. It require your phone authentication, and if you applied more security through the Android, it requires also the pattern. After that, the previous version of the WhatsApp was that it is sending the raw data or data in the textual form. After that, the need arises that the data must be encrypted. Means your data must be encrypted and decrypt at the receiver side. So there is a encryption and decryption in between the sender and receiver or two communicators. Due to this, WhatsApp gets secured. Same thing here is applied on the cloud computing. Your data must be secure. So we will read different aspect in the data security. First one is the data in transit, means data is moving. Second is data at rest, means data on your storage or on your disk, how you will secure that data. Processing of the data, including multi-tenancy, means multi-tenancy, as you are familiar, that it is a unique feature of the cloud. Multi-tenancy means many users simultaneously can use any resources. So same thing here, they may use the storage simultaneously, means storage is also shareable, means hard disk is also shareable. Since it is shareable, so here is a concern of the data breach or data security. Third is the data lineage. Data lineage means you have a cloud, you have a cloud provider. Cloud provider have the certain third party organization and from which he borrowed the software, and your data moving from your side to service provider side, and after that it is moving to the third party side on the third party software. And your data has certain metadata. Metadata means the data about the data, means the information regarding the data is known as the metadata. So metadata also get maintained. So your data is moving, and where it is moving, it has to be tracked. So that is covered under the data lineage. Data provenness. Your data, you may encrypt the data, you may decrypt the data, you may track the data where it is moving. After that, when you get the data, you have to be checked, or there must be a check that data is right. data is correct. I'm not about saying the integrity of the data. I'm saying that data is correct. Later we will discuss about the integrity and provenness. So your data must be proof, full proof, or you may say that a valid data. Data remnants. If you currently installed any antivirus or latest antivirus, you will found that there is a unique feature of remnants. What is the remnants? Remnants means if you are familiar about that certain data recovery software. Even you destroy your data, even you format your hard disk, there will be a chance that it may be recovered. And recovery tool, all the recovery tools are based on that science which remains on the hard disk, even you delete the data. So in that case, data remnants is a necessary thing. Means data has to be deleted like that. After that, I already told that there is a multi-tenancy. Means many users can simultaneously use the data. So in that case, this remnants will be required. If your disk not properly formatted, others may get your data. So data remnants is also concern for the data security. We will read about the different aspect of the data security now. Data at rest means your data installed at the or stored at the hard disk, and it is usually not encrypted. Why it is not encrypted? It is not encrypted because there is a multi-tenancy, and your cloud service provider you providing a cheap service to you, especially in the case of public cloud. So in that case, if there is a encryption, that it will be cumbersome for your cloud provider, and also if you did any indexing or any encryption, the data may be altered and you will not recover. So that's why if you have a data at rest, it must not be encrypted. I already told you that line is also saying cloud-based application or stored for use by a cloud-based application is commingled. Commingled means shuffling with others' user data. It is typically stored in a massive data store such as a Google Bigtable. I already discussed this Bigtable. A Bigtable is a table, it is based on the relational database. It is a table, but it is not like a relational table. Here is the key and value, and one table for the one row for the key and second for the value. Like that it will store, and it will store the very huge data. So data stored and also commingled means shuffled. Although applications are often designed with the features such as the data tagging to prevent unauthorized access to commingled data, unauthorized access is still possible. Even CSP says that there is no possibility that data can be accessed by the other user, but still there is a possibility. Nothing is foolproof in the case of security. Always remember that nothing foolproof in this world in the terms of security. But only thing is that it is difficult, much more difficult, or much more difficult. There is nothing like that. It is a foolproof system. So there may be, if there is a commingled data, in that case unauthorized access may be possible. There is in case Google's unauthorized data sharing between the user of documents and spreadsheet in the March of 2000. There was a problem at the Google site in 2009 that there is spreadsheet shareable by the different users. In the transit, you required a we concerned about before we discuss that data at rest. In data at rest, doesn't require any encryption and decryption because it will be difficult for the cloud server provider and it will gives the confusion to you as well. But in the case when we are talking about the data in transit, means data is moving from one side to another side, in that case you can, or a cloud service provider or user can give the encryption and decryption. So one of the algorithms which is known as the homomorphic encryption. What is this homomorphic encryption? It is developed in the Stanford University, and it is a scheme which allows data to be processed without being decrypted. Means there is no need of decryption. Even you can encrypt the data, but there is no need of decryption. But what it is required? It requires very huge computational power, and it is a very good algorithm for providing the encryption and decryption. So very, as per the book written, I am referring to the cloud security book, as the book written that it is very soon may be possible, but since it is older version of the book, it may be possible that you are using this homomorphic encryption in your cloud at present. Another aspect, whether the data an organization has put into the cloud is encrypted or not. It is useful and might be required to know exactly where and when the data was specifically located within the cloud. For example, the data might have been transferred to the cloud provider such as Amazon Web Services on date X at time Y1 and stored in a bucket on Amazon S3 in example 1.s3.amazonaws.com, then processed at the date X2 at the time Y2 on an instance being used by the organization on the Amazon Elastic Compute Cloud EC2. After that, then restored in another bucket, example 2 dot Amazon AWS. So all these platform your data is moving before being brought back into the organization for the storage in an internal data warehouse belonging to the marketing operations group on date X3 at time Y3. Following the path of data mapping application data follows, or data path visualization is known as the data lineage. I already told you that data, it is an example of data lineage, means where is the data you are moving. It is one of an example of that. And data lineage is also a important aspect of cloud computing. However, providing data lineage to the auditor or management is time consuming, even when the environment is completely under an organization's control. Try to provide accurate reporting of data lineage for the public cloud service is really not possible. It also shows that data lineage even in the single environment is very difficult. So how can you lineage the data at the cloud? Means there is a security concern at the level of the cloud. Everybody is saying that cloud is secure, use the cloud, but it is showing that it is weaker in terms of data lineage. So if you have a very sensitive data, very personal data of customer, in that case public cloud is not preferable. Integrity of data refers to the data that has not been changed in an unauthorized manner or by an unauthorized person. Provenance means not only that the data is integrity, but also that is computationally accurate. I already told you that I will discuss the integrated versus the provenance. What is that? Integrity means nobody or unauthorized person is not using their data, or data is not violated. But provenness means it is also correct or accurate data. Taken an example here. Here it is calculating the sum 2 into 3 into 4 divided by 6, and it is well quoted inside the bracket. So in that case it is integrated well and formula is all right. But what is it has a problem in terms of business, that this $2 is calculated on the basis of US dollar or I don't know about the financial thing, but here is an example like New Zealand dollar, Singapore dollar, Solomon dollar, which type of dollar it is. So in that case there will be a problem. The dollar is meant to be converted from another country's dollar into the US dollar. The correct exchange rate is used and the conversion is calculated correctly and can be proven. So it is, if you are getting the $2, it doesn't mean that it is well integrated. Means formula is all right, calculation is all right, but $2 is on the basis of on which basis it is calculated. You have to be seen about that. So provenness is also necessary in the data security. Data provenance is also required financially and scientific calculation are the two obvious examples. How do you prove the data provenance in a cloud computing scenario when you are using shared resources? Those resources are not under your physical or even logical control, and you probably have no ability to track the system used for or their state at the time you use them, even if you know some identifying information about the system and the general location. Means it is also showing the weakness of cloud computing, that your resource is shareable and computing power is also shareable. So how can you emphasize that this is the right data? There is a certain provenness concern. A final aspect of the data security is data remnants. I already told you about the remnants in the introductory part. What is the remnants means? When you format the data, even that data still present, the signs of data is still present on the race, and that can be recovered. So data remnants is the residual representation of the data that has been in some way nominal, erased or removed. This residue may be due to the data being left intact by the nominal delete operation or through physical property of the storage medium. When you delete your data with the quick format, in that case it is maximum possibility that your data will not erase. Data remnants may take inadvertent disclosure of sensitive information possible should the storage media be released into an uncontrolled environment. So it is saying that if data not properly deleted, it will disclose the sensitive information. The risk posed by the data remnants in the cloud service is that an organization data can be inadvertently exposed to an unauthorized party. Means your data can be exposed to an unauthorized party regardless whether you are using the SaaS, PaaS or IaaS. Whatever service you are using, it is not concerned. But if there is a problem in the remnants, your data is at the risk. The attention that the cloud service provider pay to data remnants is strikingly low. Means it is showing the weakness here in terms of data remnants. What is the current service provider is doing? They have no attention regarding very low attention regarding the remnants, data remnants. And if the subject of data security is breached, many CSP rather glibly refer to the compliance with the US Department of the Defense 5220.22-M, the National Industrial Security Program Operation Manual. Glibly means they are not following the instruction manual. they are, whether it is a problem or willingly or not willingly, they are not following the manual. So here is the problem at the level of data remnants in the cloud computing. After that, clearing and sanitizing. Data has to be cleared. When you are deleting a data, that it must be cleared. And sanitize means before you reusing the internal memory, it must be sanitized. Clearing means clearing is saving the previous data. Means suppose block X at the disk was using by the person A, and he deleted his data. After that, at the block level X, the clearing operation must be performed so that the other person cannot recover that data. And sanitization means before using that X block. Suppose it will be confused. There will be confusion. Suppose there is a new block F. It is a fresh block and you want to use. So before using, there must be a sanitizing. Means that there will not be any residual data. Otherwise, some person can impose the security breach there or can run the virus there, and after that, when you put your data at that place, that get be infected. So that is the difference between the clearing and sanitizing. Sanitizing before using the disk, clearing after that. Data security mitigation. Although data in transit can and should be encrypted, any use of that data in the cloud beyond the simple storage requires that it be decrypted. Therefore, it is almost certain that in the cloud data will be unencrypted. And if you are using a PaaS-based application or SaaS, customer unencrypted data will also almost certainly be hosted in a multi-tenancy environment. Add to that exposure the difficulty in determining the data lineage, data provenance where necessary, and even many providers failure to adequately address such a basic security concern as the data removal, and the risk of data security for the customer significantly increase. It is saying that we already discussed that cloud required at the level of storage, it requires the decrypted data. In transit, you can encrypt the data. If it is required the decrypted data, in that case there is a certain security flaws at the level of data lineage, data provenance. Okay. The only viable option for the mitigation is to ensure that any sensitive or regulated data is not placed into the public cloud. That is, I already discussed that if you have a very personal data of your customer or any research, you must not use the public cloud. Suppose you are working on the PhD thesis and that is important, and you have certain patent information that is very important, and you are saving on the Google Cloud or Amazon Cloud, Google Drive. In that case, there is a chances that it may be disclosed. So never use the public cloud for the sensitive data. CSP are not offering robust enough control around data security. They are not providing the control for the data security. It may be that those economic changes and that provider offer their current services as well as the regulatory cloud environment. Implies that an environment where the customer are willing to pay more for the enhanced security control to properly handle the sensitive and regulated data. Currently, the only viable option for the mitigation is to ensure that any sensitive or regulated data is not put onto the public cloud. Since CSP is not providing the robust data security, In that case, it is suggested that never use the sensitive data on the public cloud. Providers data and its security. In addition to the security of your own customer data, customers should also be concerned about what data the provider collects and how the CSP protects that data. Specifically with regard to your customer data, what metadata does the provider have about your data, how it is secured, and what access do you, the customer, have to that metadata. As your volume of data with a particular provider increases, so does the value of that metadata. Means you not only concerned to your customer data, you have to be concerned about the metadata. What is the metadata? If you are familiar about the software engineering book, there is a data dictionary. What is the data dictionary? Data dictionary is a type of metadata, means information regarding the data. So when you are writing any project report and you are writing the short form or terms you use, so in that case this is known as the metadata, means data about the data. So you not only concerned about the customer data, but you also must be familiar about the metadata, because it is also a security concern. Additionally, your provider collects and must protect a huge amount of security related data. For example, at the network level, your provider should be collecting, monitoring and protecting the firewall, intrusion prevention system, security incident and event management, and outer flow data. And at the host level, your provider should be collecting system log file, and at the application level SaaS provider should be collecting the application log data, including authentication and authorization information. Means if you want to ensure the cloud security, your cloud service provider must provide these mentioned services at the different levels. After that, storage, how the storage is done and what is required for the storage. Storage requires the confidentiality, integrity and availability. And when we are talking about the confidentiality in terms of the cloud, data stored in a cloud, you have two potential concerns. What are those? First, what access control access to protect the data. Access control consists of both authentication and authorization. CSP generally use the weak authentication mechanism. I already discussed that all CSP provider, what is they are doing, giving a username and password. After that, they are not distributing any privileges. And once you got the username and password, in that case, we may change the privileges of the other users. So it is also concern of confidentiality when you are storing your data on the cloud. So if a customer data actually encrypted when it is stored in the cloud, and if so, with what encrypted algorithm and with what key strength, it depends, and especially it depends on the which CSP you are using. For example, EMC Mozy Enterprise does encrypt a customer's data. However, AWS S3 does not encrypt a customer data. Customers are able to encrypt their own data themselves prior to uploading, but S3 does not provide encryption. Means I already discussed that when you are going to storage, in that case you are not able to encryption data, but still there are some cloud service provider that exceptionally, like Mozy Enterprises, it provides the encryption for the customer, whereas the Amazon Web Services, which is a very famous cloud, is not providing the encryption of your data. So it is a threat to your confidentiality. If a CSP does encrypt a customer data, the next consideration concern is that what algorithm it is. Not all encryption algorithms are created equal. Cryptographically, many algorithms provide the insufficient security. Suppose it is providing the encryption, then you have to be find out that whether it is providing the good algorithm or not. How can you judge the any good algorithm or not? It is judged by the formal standard body of NIST, National Institute of Security and Threats, like that. I know I forget about the full form. You may see that it is the American standard for the security. So you have to follow the NIST to look out that whether the application or whether the algorithm is good or not, or sufficient or not. If it is using any proprietary algorithm, then you must not use that algorithm. Proprietary means if anybody have a right or private property. After that, there is a symmetric encryption. You may use the symmetric encryption for the confidentiality of the data, and it is generally used for the data in the transit. So what is the symmetric? Symmetric has the only one key. Here is the diagram. You have a sender, you have a receiver, you are encrypting the data. Here is you are generating the key, and same key used for the decrypting the data. But it is less secure, so you may use this asymmetric algorithm. Here is the sender, is encrypted, that you are encrypting the data, you are decrypting the data, and there is a receiver. Means there is a different key for encryption and decryption. And also these keys not be with along your data. Okay, it is just like that. You not expose your house keys to the outsider. Same thing is that if you are sending any data, in that case you must not put your key inside that. The next consideration for you is what key length is used. If you are using those keys, symmetric and asymmetric, how much length you are using. With symmetric encryption, the longer the key length, the stronger the encryption. Although long key length provide more protection, they are also more computationally intensive. If you are using the much lengthier key, then it will hang out the system and may strain the capability of the computer processor. What can be said is that key length should be minimum of 112 bit or triple DES data encryption in standard, and 128 bits for AES or advanced encryption standard. Both are NIST approved algorithms. So that's the bit which you use for the key. Another confidentiality consideration for the encryption is key the management. How your encryption key that are used going to be managed, and by whom are you going to manage? Are you going to manage your own keys? Hopefully the answer is yes, and hopefully you have the expertise to manage your own key. It is not recommended that you entrust a cloud provider. Means if you are managing the key, in that case you must yourself will manage your key, not believe on the cloud providers, or at least not the same provider that is handling your data. That means additional resource and capability are necessary. We require the additional capacity you require. Recommendation for the key management. Because key management is complex and difficult for the single customer, it is even more complex and difficult for the CSP to try to properly manage multiple customer keys. For that reason, several CSP do not do a good job of managing customers key. For example, it is common for the provider to encrypt all of the customer's data with a single key. Even worse, we are aware of one cloud storage provider that uses a single encryption key for all of its customers. The organization of the advanced all of it customer, it is very dangerous. What is that? If any CSP providing the security, it is using the same key to encrypt and decrypt the data. So one of the organization named Organization for the Advancement of Structured Information Standard, OSIS, Key Management Interoperability Protocol, KMIP, is trying to address such issues. This organization is addressing key regarding issue. Integrity. Confidentiality is alright. Means you are providing confidentiality to your data, means you are encrypting and decrypting that nobody can see that. It is known as a confidentiality. But what is the integrity? Means your data is not altered. Confidentiality does not imply integrity. Data can be encrypted for the confidentiality purpose, and yet you might not have a way to verify the integrity of that data. Encrypting alone is sufficient for the confidentiality, but encryption alone is sufficient for the confidentiality, but integrity also requires the use of message. It is saying that you can achieve the confidentiality by achieving the encryption and decryption, but there is no way to find the integrity. The simplest way to use MAX on encrypted data is to use a block symmetry algorithm in a cipher block chaining mode and to include a one-way hash function. This is not for the cryptographical uninitiated, and it is one reason why effective key management is difficult. And if you want to integrate, in that case you may use a one-way hash, but it is very difficult. Another aspect of the data integrity is that there is a bulk storage on the infrastructure as a service. Once a customer has several gigabytes of its data up in the cloud storage, how does the customer check on the integrity of the data storage there? When the data got increases, how can user check the integrity at the cloud? There are past transfer costs associated with the moving data into the back down from the cloud. Since there is a cost involved when you are using the infrastructure as a service, and you familiar that it is a very raw infrastructure like memory and processor is provided by the cloud, and when it is providing the raw structure, then there is a maximum communication between the sender and receiver, and at the level of infrastructure as a service there is a larger communication than the platform as a service and software as a service. As well as the network utilization consideration for the customer on network. What a customer really want to do is to validate the integrity of his data while that data remains in the cloud without having to download and uploading that re-upload the data. Since we are using the infrastructure as a service, you must be concerned about the integrity, because checking the integrity, only the method is that download the old data and after that check the integrity. So how can you check the data on the cloud? It is also a concern for the cloud. This task is more difficult because it must be done in the cloud without explicit knowledge of the old data. Customers generally do not know on which physical machine their data is stored or where those systems are located. Additionally, that data set is probably dynamic and changing frequently, and those frequent changes obviate the effectiveness of the traditional integrity insurance technique. What it is saying regarding the second issue of the integrity, that your data is very dynamic. It is stored on the different location. It is not at the one place, so you are unable to check the integrity of the data. Last concern is that availability of data. Means how your cloud is available. So what they say is, we are providing the service 99.999%. Somebody says 99.99, some say 99.99, and some say 99. So you may see that with the single line how the stop time or block time of or fault time increases of a cloud. Here you see that your cloud is found to be faulty for 5 hours. After that, a single line 52 hours. One more less 9 45 hours. 845, 8 hour and 45, and 99 it is about 87 hours. So you have to check the availability of a cloud when you are in the security. So there is a outage, it is also a problem. And other problem is that which covers in the security under the availability. Suppose you are a new promotion get come and it is saying that we are providing very cheap cloud, and after 1 year you found that the company is out of business and our whole data on the system. So once it is happened, it is with the cloud provider Carbonite Industries. It is not that. It is the example. Name. I may not mention the name. We have the name. Coghead. Coghead was the company that suddenly shut down. And when it is shut down, it just giving the only customer to the 90 days to recover their data, otherwise data will be lost. It is also a concern for the cloud. Other concern is a third party. Like one of the example of the Carbonite industry filed a lawsuit charging that faulty equipment from the two hardware providers was the backup failure that resulted in the company losing data of 7,500 customers 2 years ago. Means they got a faulty hardware and lost the data of 7,500 customers in 2 years. So that's it, I think. No, there is lots of more. Finally, perspective cloud storage customer must be certain to ascertain just what service their provider is actually offering. Cloud storage does not mean the storage data is actually backed up. Some cloud storage providers do the backup customer data in addition to providing the storage. However, many cloud storage providers do not back up customer data or do so only as an additional service for an additional cost. So later I give you example in the previous slide that one of the company got a faulty hardware and lost the data of 7,200 customer. Same case here, that you have to be checked that whether they are providing your cloud provider is providing the backup data or not. Somebody are providing but they require the additional cost, and some like Amazon S3, Amazon SimpleDB, Amazon Elastic Block is redundantly stored in the multiple physical location as a normal part of those services and at no additional charge. However, data that is mentioned within the running instances on the Amazon EC2 or within the Amazon S3 and Amazon SimpleDB is all customer data, and therefore AWS does not perform the backups. Means they are scattering the data, but they are not providing the backup. Means Amazon is not providing the backup. All three of these considerations, confidentiality, integrity, and availability, should be encapsulated in the CSP service level agreement to its customer. Means it must be integrated in the service level agreement. When you are hiring the cloud services, in that case a agreement gets signed, and you must maintain this confidentiality, integrity, and availability inside the service level agreement or SLA of cloud computing. So that's it, guys, and that's the end of data level security. Jai Hind, Jai Bharat.